Namaste, I am Sridhar Banigiri, welcoming you to my channel. Today I am here to share a question that was posed to me. The question was, what is cognition? I had a casual discussion with one of my friends. I told you should change your cognition. So immediately he questioned me and asked me what is cognition and how do you change your cognitions. This topic I want to speak in detail. Cognition as defined or the synonymous to cognition is also perceptions. Cognition means we look from our eyes, hear from our ears, all the five senses, smell, touch, the touch is what called feelings, all the five senses, we communicate to the world with these five senses. When we communicate to the world with these five senses, what happens? What happens is there is response. We respond to this world or we communicate to this world. When we respond, all the responses are based on our past memories, past conditioning, past ideas or past root patterns. These root patterns are these ideas that we carry and the conditioning that we have undergone. These conditionings response to our perceptions, response to the five senses can be told or can be classified as cognition. Is this cognition? Is this cognition permanent or is this cognition changeable? Can we change our cognitions? That is what my subject of discussion today it is. In many discourses where I have listened to His Holiness Bhagavan Paramahamsa Nityananda specifically speaks about what cognitions are. Changing our cognitions or what we cognize. For instance, how I understand and how I understood is what I want to share. If I see this camera, how do I say it's a camera? Because of past information about this equipment, as soon as I see, I can tell it's camera. As soon as I see, seeing is happening through the eyes. So perception is happening through the eyes. So memory from inside about this device spontaneously pops up without me being conscious of what I am saying. I instantaneously say that it is camera. Is this what cognition is? Or is this what we call perceptions? Let me go into some more deeper understanding about what I experience, and understand about cognition is. I see an old friend, a classmate, 15 years back, I have seen him. When I see him, immediately I will not be able to recognize him because 15 years of change over a period of time, he has changed. Even if he looks at me, he cannot identify me. Because what he saw 15 years back was not the same personality. There's a lot of changes undergone outside, physical. So also it is for your friend. It takes some time to understand that the person, that he was your friend when you were 15 years back in your college or school. So here the time gap is not instantaneous. There is a time lag in understanding and recognizing the person. This also is cognition. That which happens instantaneously also is cognition. That which happens after fraction of few seconds is also cognition. So whatever information we get or receive from these senses, five senses, the process happens inside us, and instantaneously we respond, or with certain time lags we respond. Now let us go one more step further. Let's say there is a situation in your childhood, we had a bad, unpleasant situation. When something similar to that happens around us, immediately the cognition will be different. We will be not in our great moods. Immediately the mood swing happens. That is because the cognitions that we had due to the past events, which is sitting in us in that root pattern, and the same thing happens again when the circumstances is played in front of us. One more example is, you would have ventured into a partnership business with your friend or your brother or your relative. That partnership would have failed miserably. So you have cognized that partnership business doesn't work. So that is sitting deep down inside you. And let's say when Anil Ambani or Mukesh Ambani comes and asks you for partnership again, you will immediately say no to them, because your root pattern or your past is sitting, which is preventing you to look at the future in a different way. So we are nothing but a bundle of our past. Everything what we cognize is based on our past experience. It may be joyful experience, or it may be painful experience, it may be a successful experiences, or it may be a failure experiences. All that is which is sitting deep down inside us, and the way we communicate and respond every day is what we say cognizing or cognitions. A person who's tasted success, he keeps tasting success always. A person who has experienced failure is experiencing failure always. Now we will keep to these two only. A person who's experiencing success is always experiencing success by success, because he has cognized that he can succeed and he is succeeding. The same person, the same event, a person who thinks that he is a failure, he tries out, goes out, ventures and ventures and ventures because of his past failures. His failure starts repeating itself, because that is what his cognition is. Now I will not go into that which is called completions or incompletions. I only want to go to these four aspects of you. The four aspects of you are your inner image, your outer image, others image, and life image. All these images are not separate as it is. All these images are playing simultaneously on us. Our inner image, our outer image, and life image and other image is simultaneously happening right now. Right now in the midst we are, all these images are playing with us. So as the events unfold in front of us, we see those events and we start responding to that because of our past information stored, that we call as cognitions. Now how do we go further? How do we go further and change our cognitions? By completing with the past. By completing with the past, we can change our cognitions. But is it so easy to complete with our past? How do we know that our past is completed? How do we know that we have completed with our past? Again it reoccurs in a different form, and again it's back to square one. Incompletions are there. So there is a constant struggle between completions and incompletions and your cognitions. How do we come out of this? How do we come out of this? How do we come out of these past incompletions? By saying that we will complete it then cognitions will change in us, then we will have a new cognition. Is it possible that in that way, or it's a long process? When do we achieve that? That also takes long time. Again, if we start seeing separately our inner image, outer image, and life image and others image, we start examining it, we lose the track of what exactly we are focusing on. Like, completion should be instantaneous. Our cognition should be instantaneous. If you are having a failure cognition, that we will be a failure, how do we change it? How do we change that cognition? By declaring, internally we declare inside ourselves that we will never ever see again failure. We go behind success. Is that what is required? Is that the decision what we require? Or we should be aware of those things which repeat again, which show up again, saying that the patterns which show that you will become a failure. Be aware of those things. When we are aware of those patterns which come up to make you eventually fail, those patterns, if you are aware, definitely we can change our cognitions. Being aware of the patterns that occur in us, being aware of the patterns, the way we respond to the outer world, inner world, the way we respond to that, the time gap between responding to those outer world and inner world, you have the ability to cognize in such a way that you will see, you can see that you can change your cognitions the way you want. The way you want, you can cognize. So today's discussion, I think today's topic, I think I have conveyed what I had to convey, and it's a process. It's a process of constant learning. I strongly recommend each of my viewers to listen to the satsangs of His Holiness Bhagavan Paramahamsa Nityananda. Elaborately spoken about powerful cognitions, and he has spoken about how to change cognitions, and definitely you will have insights into this. Saying so, I take leave. Nityanandam, be blissful.